Okay, now that you got all three of your parts done, so I've got part 2, which is the handle. You got part 3, which is the blade. And then part 4, or part 5, I don't know what I might call it part 5, but then the pin. So a little bit about the pin. I'm expecting you guys to basically do your own design on this. The pin is the size of the hole, and then what I did on here is, if you look at this cut extrude, I just went ahead and cut extrude that to get the same radius so that pin would fit flush inside the or on the handle. Alright, so we're going to start with the handle. And from here you want to go File, Make Assembly from Part. And basically that's part 2, so I'm just going to click anywhere on the screen and let it basically drag itself. Alright, now you notice the orientation that it's coming in. So if I look at this orientation, right, and I look at the isometric view, it's kind of not the isometric view I want. I kind of want it the other way. So to change that, you don't just leave it fixed. You come over here and say, let's take a look at this view. All right, so we're going to update that view, and that's the right side view. We're going to say click here, update standard views, and we're going to call that the front view and say yes. And now look at the isometric view. All right, that's the orientation we want. Okay, so now we're going to go to Assembly, Insert Components, and just make sure the other components are open, so that I'm going to insert the blade. Now you can, they've updated and added this little X, Y, and Z, so if you want, you can click on this to kind of orientate the part. So basically, rotation in Y is kind of like the correct orientation. Alright, for the mating on this, it's probably the easiest first thing to do is let's just mate. Go click on mate. And you're going to mate this cylinder with this hole. Okay, now you accept that. Now you should have 2 degrees of freedom left. You got a rotational degree of freedom and then the axial degree of freedom. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the temporary axes. So I'm going to mate the axes of this hole with the axes of this. So come up here to show. Oops, come on. So I'm going to show the axes and the temporary axes. Alright, so mate. I'm going to grab this and that guy, and then notice those 2 axes came right together. So basically now that part should be pretty much locked in. Alright, insert components, the pin. Okay, now if you take a look at the pin, again you right click on a part that'll rotate in any degree. So I'll mate again, and then I'm going to mate the outside face with the cylinder or the hole and accept that. And you should have this degree of freedom left. Alright, come up here. Okay, now I'm just going to mate this face with this face. And notice how it fits nice and flush. I'm going to roll out my transparency here. So you guys can see that. Basically, I turned off my transparency. Now, on this part, if I come over here and I delete one of these mates, let's say I'm going to delete this concentric mate. If you're having issues with orientation on this one, okay, because it can rotate, you will have to use basically one of these planes. Let's say that plane, and let's say I'm going to mate that right plane, let's say with this face. Notice how it turns the orientation of that part now, and that's exactly how I want it. Accept that, and then I want to mate this face with this face, and that's perfect. Okay, now close that. Bring this back over here. Turn all that off. Now, for an exploded view, I'm going to just basically turn this back into the asymmetric view. So you click on exploded view up here, and you're going to basically pull the parts off. What orientation makes sense, how you would disassemble the parts. So obviously the pin's got to come first. So I click on the pin. I'm going to click on the direction that normally the part will come off, and then there's step number 1. Click on the handle, pull it off, and there's step number 2. For this easy assembly, don't get too carried away. That's all it is, except that. Now, under exploded view, I want you to put exploded view, explode line sketch. So we're going to connect basically this surface with this face. Actually, in cylinders like this, it's better to do the hole with the cylinder. We don't need to go quite, oops, went on the top, clear those selection, do this again. Okay, the hole. Oop, didn't like that either, so I'm clearing those out. Again, hole. Let's try this edge. You may have to try this a couple times to see what works. That looks good right there. Ugh, that is not good. That you don't want to do that. Alright, we're going to try that one more time. So if yours doesn't work, I'll show you how to delete it. So under your history tree here, and I don't know why it's not working, so we go under exploded view, explode line sketch, items to connect. We want to connect again the hole with the pin, and then accept that. But for some reason mine's thrown out over here. You guys can try yours, and if it does this, just delete it. So then to delete that out of there, you got to go into your configuration menu. Under default assembly 1, you open that up. Here's your exploded view. Here's your explode line sketch. Just highlight it, hit delete, say yes. Alright, since we're in here, again, that's under your configurations. You right click in here, and then you can animate this. So I don't know if this is going to go too fast. So that comes in, that goes in. That's all it is. You can loop it too if you want. Play, that's just your controller up here. Okay, and all the exploded view is just a configuration. So I double click on here, double click, there it is. Alright, so back to the main menu. Alright, you should have 3 parts. All the parts should be fully constrained, and that is the assembly.